Join our family of creators. Your support means the world to us. Subscribe now to the Content Creator channel. Your support keeps us motivated and helps us bring you fresh, exciting content every week. Hit that subscribe button and be part of our journey. A single piece of paper released under the weight of a congressional subpoena has thrown Washington into a familiar state of political chaos. This is not just any letter, it is a birthday message allegedly sent from Donald Trump to the now deceased and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein. The note itself is short, almost cryptic. It reads, "A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret." These words, combined with a signature simply reading Donald, have ignited a firestorm of controversy, once again tying the former president to a figure synonymous with scandal and abuse. The political fallout was immediate, sharp, and deeply polarizing, drawing battle lines in an already divided nation. The timing of this revelation could not be more charged. As the country looks toward its political future, it is once again forced to reckon with ghosts from the past. For President Trump, the letter represents an unwelcome and persistent link to a man he has repeatedly tried to distance himself from. For his critics, it is seen as further proof of a troubling association and a lack of transparency. The core of the matter goes beyond simple political point scoring. It touches on fundamental questions of character, judgment, and the company our leaders keep. The story is a complex web of denials, counterclaims, and forensic speculation, all playing out under the intense glare of the public eye. This controversy is not merely a fleeting headline, it has become a symbol of our modern political era. It highlights how quickly information, or what appears to be information, can be weaponized by all sides. The release of the letter by the House Oversight Committee was a calculated move, designed to generate questions and demand answers. In response, the Trump camp launched a full-scale defense, labeling the document a fabrication and a politically motivated smear. The result is a narrative tug-of-war, where the truth becomes a casualty, lost somewhere between staunch denial and unwavering belief. What makes this situation so compelling is the stark contrast between the words on the page and the public denials that followed. To understand the current controversy, we must first understand the source of the letter. The document emerged from what is being called the Epstein birthday book. This is not a single book in the traditional sense, but a collection of well wishes, letters, and notes compiled for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003. Think of it as a scrapbook, but one whose guest list included some of the most powerful people in the world. The book was not public knowledge until it was turned over to the House Oversight Committee. That only happened after the committee issued a subpoena to Epstein's estate, compelling the estate to release a trove of documents. The significance of this collection cannot be overstated. It offers a tangible, curated glimpse into Epstein's social and professional orbit. The binder reportedly contains around 40 entries, organized into sections: friends, business, family, girlfriends. The names listed are a who's who of politics. President Trump's reaction was immediate, unequivocal, and forceful. In a post, he declared the letter fake in all caps. He flatly denied writing or signing the note. Not a nuanced response, a total rejection. Allies amplified the message across conservative media. Their core claim, this is a forgery. While President Trump insists the signature on the Epstein letter is a forgery, the evidence is not so clear-cut. Handwriting experts, amateur sleuths, have been closely examining the looping Donald at the bottom of the page. Trump's official signature is famously jagged and sharp. Peaks, valleys. The signature on the Epstein letter is different, softer, more rounded, cursive, loopier style. This discrepancy fuels the fake argument, but a deeper dive into archives tells a more complicated story. Numerous examples from the same era have surfaced online, late 1990s, early 2000s. Many look remarkably similar to the Epstein note. He may have used a different signature for personal versus official business. Books, personal notes, memorabilia. A rounder, loopier Donald appears in those. It even shows the same long tail on the final D seen in the Epstein note. That finding lends legitimacy to the letter. As CNN reported, matching contemporaneous documents suggest it could be real. The loopier signature on a birthday message can make it seem more authentic. It fits a friendly, informal greeting to a pal. The signature debate is a central battleground. Ironically, President Trump's own actions have been the primary reason the Epstein letter story has refused to die down. In politics, the conventional wisdom is to address a negative story once and move on. But the Trump strategy has been the exact opposite. By repeatedly and aggressively denying the letter's authenticity, he and his administration ensured it stayed in the conversation. Each denial, every social media post, every comment to reporters acts as a fresh news hook. That prompts another round of articles, more cable news segments, and wider public speculation. The story has been prolonged by efforts meant to suffocate it. In the face of the mounting controversy, the MAGA movement responded with a swift and unified defense of Donald Trump. Almost immediately after the letter was released, his most ardent supporters took to social media and conservative news outlets to dismiss the entire affair. Their reaction was not one of concern or even curiosity, but a collective hand wave, as Axios described it. The central theme of their defense was simple and direct. The letter is a forgery. The story is a politically motivated hit job orchestrated by Democrats and the mainstream media. Vice President J.D. Vance, for example, took to X, formerly Twitter, to redirect the focus. Instead of addressing the letter itself, he accused Democrats of hypocrisy, posting, "The Democrats don't care about Epstein." This tactic is common in the MAGA playbook. When faced with an uncomfortable accusation, pivot to attacking the motives of the accusers. It shifts the conversation from the substance of the issue to the perceived biases of those raising it, effectively putting critics on the defensive. Many supporters went even further, declaring total vindication for Trump and demanding consequences for his critics. One prominent conservative commentator asked, "Okay, now that we know that every critic of Trump over Epstein has been totally and completely full of SHT for the past 3 months, are any of them going to face any consequences?" This sentiment reflects a deep-seated belief within the movement that Trump is the perpetual victim of a corrupt and biased system. In their view, the Epstein letter is not a scandal about Trump, but another example of the lengths the establishment will go to in order to take him down. While the letter allegedly from Donald Trump has captured the most headlines, it is crucial to remember he is not the only prominent figure mentioned. The collection of notes and letters shows the broad, influential network Epstein cultivated. The list names powerful figures across the political spectrum: former President Bill Clinton, Alan Dershowitz. Their inclusion shows Epstein's circle was bipartisan and reached the highest echelons of American society. The trove includes a letter that appears to be from Clinton, wishing Epstein a happy 50th. Like the Trump letter, it raises questions about their relationships. Ultimately, the birthday book is a stark reminder of a collective failure of judgment among parts of the elite. One of the most damaging aspects of this controversy for the Trump administration has been its own inconsistent and evolving narrative. The story has been marked by a series of claims and denials, later contradicted by new information, making it hard to take official statements at face value. A key example revolves around when Trump was first told his name appeared in the released Epstein files. He initially denied being told, but it later came to light that Attorney General Pam Bondi had personally informed him in May 2025. That direct contradiction raises questions about his credibility, and for critics looks like a false claim, making other denials, including about the birthday letter, harder to believe. Around the same time, two high-ranking officials, FBI Director Kash Patel, Deputy Director Dan Bongino, suddenly changed their tune on Epstein-related conspiracy theories. But in mid-May they went on Fox News, publicly disowned those theories and affirmed Epstein died by suicide. The saga of the Epstein birthday letter is more than just another political scandal destined to fade from memory. It is a powerful reflection of the deep and corrosive crisis of trust facing America today. At its core, this controversy forces every citizen to ask a fundamental question: who do you believe? Do you trust the documents released by a congressional committee, which seem to be corroborated by other evidence? Or do you trust a former president who insists it is all a fake, a politically motivated fabrication designed by his enemies? There is no easy answer, and the side you choose likely depends less on the evidence and more on your pre-existing political loyalties. This episode lays bare the fractured nature of our information ecosystem. In an earlier era, evidence like a letter from an estate, backed by handwriting comparisons, might have been widely accepted as credible. Today, it is just another piece of disputed information in the ongoing partisan war. The MAGA movement's immediate and unwavering dismissal of the letter, without considering the evidence, shows how deeply entrenched this mindset has become. For millions of Americans, trust in institutions like Congress and the media has been so eroded that any information they produce is automatically suspect. This crisis of trust extends beyond one politician or one party. The Epstein birthday book itself, with its list of powerful names from both sides of the aisle, serves as a grim reminder of why so many Americans have grown cynical about their leaders. It suggests a cozy, elite world where personal connections and influence operate on a different plane, far removed from the lives of ordinary citizens. It is a story about a signature on a piece of paper, but it is also a story about the fraying bonds of trust that hold a nation together. Ultimately, this controversy leaves us in a precarious place. When a society can no longer agree on a basic set of facts, it becomes nearly impossible to have the rational debates necessary for a functioning democracy. What does it mean for our country when a significant portion of the population believes its leaders are liars, and another significant portion believes the institutions designed to hold those leaders accountable are the ones who are lying? The Trump-Epstein letter is a symptom of this much larger disease. It is a story about a signature on a piece of paper, but it is also a story about the fraying bonds of trust that hold a nation together. The revelation that figures like Bill Clinton are also in the book does not necessarily excuse Trump. For many, it only deepens the sense that the entire political class is compromised. It reinforces the belief that the powerful protect their own, regardless of party. This crisis of trust extends beyond one politician or one party. It highlights how quickly information, or what appears to be information, can be weaponized by all sides. The American public is left to sift through the noise, trying to decide who and what to believe. This episode is more than just a political scandal. It is a test of public trust, and a reflection of our deeply fractured information landscape. The release of the letter by the House Oversight Committee was a calculated move, designed to generate questions and demand answers. In response, the Trump camp launched a full-scale defense, labeling the document a fabrication and a politically motivated smear. The result is a narrative tug-of-war, where the truth becomes a casualty, lost somewhere between staunch denial and unwavering belief. It is a story that refuses to fade, kept alive by the very attempts to extinguish it. On one side, you have a seemingly personal note discovered among Epstein's private possessions. On the other, you have a former president and his vast network of supporters declaring it an outright forgery. This clash creates a vacuum of uncertainty that has been filled with speculation, expert analysis, and partisan rhetoric. The American public is left to sift through the noise, trying to decide who and what to believe. This episode is more than just a political scandal. It is a test of public trust and a reflection of our deeply fractured information landscape. The handling of the Epstein letter controversy has become a case study in how not to manage a political crisis if the goal is to make it disappear. The constant engagement, the reversals, the aggressive attacks have seeded more questions than they have answered. They've transformed a one-day story about a two-decade-old letter into a lingering saga about credibility, transparency, and the president's past. By refusing to let the issue fade, Trump and his team have pretty much guaranteed that the letter, whether real or fake, will remain linked to his name for the foreseeable future, a persistent ghost in his political machine.